Hello and welcome to the channel. It is the end of the year and it is a good time to take stock and review the outgoing key events. And in my case, the watches that I covered this year on this channel. I reviewed about 50 different watches over the course of 12 months, and while I take a very special care not to waste mine and, more importantly, your precious time on lousy or boring timepieces, some watches naturally end up being even better when I have hands-on experience with them, and some unfortunately end up being somewhat underwhelming or complete turkeys. So, in this video I'll bring you what I consider 10 best timepieces I reviewed this year, plus one honorable mention and 3 that I wasn't that impressed with, to put it politely. And yes, one of those 3 watches is somewhat controversial, especially in the way it was received and handled by the interweb, and I will come to it when I bring you this watch to your attention later in this video. And a quick note, not all the watches on this list came out in 2023. Some of them I only got around to review this year, but hey, better later than never. And before we jump into this list, a bunch of new and interesting timepieces are as always in my review pipeline for the next 12 months, so this could be a great time to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss anything. Okay, I am generally an optimist, a glass kind of full guy, so I will start with 10 watches that really impressed me first, and then I'll share 3 that didn't. So, in no particular order, Pagani Design Mission to Mars. I probably will not surprise anyone by having this Pagani design that I call Mission to Mars Savior on my top 10 list. Yes, there is an obvious resemblance to Moonswatch, but Pagani Design took this timepiece to the next level. Solid build quality, sapphire crystal, sapphire bezel, plus stainless steel construction, plus CIGA mecha quartz movement in the back of this crack of a watch, and all of that for well under $100. So yes, it is like Moonswatch, only infinitely better. Now, swinging all the way from AliExpress Super Special into Swatch Group territory, and I present you Tissot Couturier Powermatic 80. I bought this watch on special from German shop for $290 US, which is a crazy price for an amazing timepiece. Top quality build and finishing from a very reputable Swiss brand, with technically an in-house movement with impressive 80 hours of power reserve. This is my second Tissot. My first one was my daily wear for more than 10 years, so I am quite familiar with this brand, and yes, I can definitely recommend it. Now, Saint Martin, being one of my favorite brands on AliExpress, released this GMT timepiece as one of their original design collection. I pulled the trigger on the purchase without second thought, and I wasn't disappointed. This is an elegant timepiece with an outstanding build quality and cool features like bi-directional bezel, as we would expect on a proper GMT watch, super comfortable beads of rice bracelet, practical 100 meters of water resistance, and very, very handy Saint Martin's on-the-fly adjustment clasp. After somewhat unplanned break from reviewing Pagani Design watches, I bought the Spender chronograph, mainly because I was intrigued by a really low price. And because I like the watch that inspired this good-looking homage. I guess having a really low expectations probably amplified my impressions of this watch when it was delivered. Well, whatever the case, this turned out to be a very well put together timepiece with all the premium materials and specs, like sapphire crystal, full stainless steel construction, and CIGA mecha quartz movement in the back of it. And yes, all that for a smidge under $55. The funny thing is that Boderry reached out and offered to send me this Voyager for review. However, they were a day or so too late because I ordered and paid for it the minute I saw it available from their shop on AliExpress. A very unique style, solid titanium case for under $100, and I even was okay with non-hackable Miyota movement. Well, I wasn't disappointed. The great news is that since I reviewed this titanium field watch, Boderry upgraded the movement to much better suited for this watch CIGA NH35. They also released a titanium bracelet for this watch and introduced a bunch of new colorways and even released a bronze version of this timepiece. Talking about capitalizing on new success. Okay, I know Baltany pilot and military chronographs claimed a lot of limelight this year on quite a few watch review channels, including mine. However, it was this Baltany vintage-inspired diver that really impressed me. The attention to detail is superb, starting from the bright and clear sapphire crystal that Baltany does so well, and crisp and tactile bezel action down to intricately sculpted, fully milled double pusher clasp. Yes, it is a homage to one of the earlier models of Submariner, be that Rolex or Tudor Submariner, well, you decide, but still, if you are a non-date three-hander purist, this watch presents quite a unique and compelling option. This is another homage on this list, and yes, it has presence, but there is something about this watch that keeps me coming back to it time and time again. It actually became my weekend watch for a time being. I am looking forward to getting my hands on Seiko Marine Master 300, however, $2,500 price tag presents a bit of a tiny or not so tiny obstacle to overcome. So, in the meantime, I am having fun with this $130-ish Steeldive, which is actually not a spec slouch by no means. We have, of course, sapphire crystal, ceramic bezel, which is also loomed, and all stainless steel construction monoblock case, and solid bracelet. Right, and now a couple of micro brands that I had a pleasure working with this year. First is this Phoibos Eagle Ray Super Compressor, an amazing watch, and you don't have to take my word for it. The fact that Phoibos reissued this model a few times in the last 3 years speaks volumes. Solid build quality, all premium materials, well thought through and implemented in a bezel design. And did I mention this great looking dial? Phoibos offers 5 different colorways of this watch, and in my humble opinion, each and every one of them is tastefully done. And another micro brand that really impressed me this year was this Valimor with their limited Kilgara model. Styled in a medieval motif, this watch offers a really unique aesthetics. But it is not just looks, we have a quick-release stainless steel bracelet, quite unusual for this price point and very practical, I must say. The uniquely sculpted crown is adorned with Swarovski crystal, and then there is the whole lot of King Arthur and Dragon Scale theme elements going on this multi-layered dial. Looks like Valimor enjoys a tight community of fans because their limited editions sell out pretty quickly. I strongly recommend for you to check this one out. And before I move to my honorable mention and talk about the 3 underwhelming watches that end up on my channel this year, I need to mention this sports racing chronograph from Pagani Design that cost me only 46 bucks. Okay, as I found out eventually, it is a homage to one of the Holy Trinity brands, and that $50,000 watch is truly exceptional, which makes it even more remarkable to see the level of finishing and execution we get here on this Pagani Design for 46 bucks. And yes, rest assured, Pagani Design didn't skimp here on the materials. We still get sapphire crystal, Seiko mecha quartz movement and stainless steel construction. And as honorable mention, the watch that I finally decided to review this year, my Seiko Alpinist SPB197 Mountain Glacier dial. Beautiful dial, a really good looking watch, plus 72 hours of power reserve and sapphire crystal as a bonus. And this year it received another upgrade. Seiko's new GMT movement 6R54, which is a really good news for 2 reasons. First, this new GMT version was very well received by watch community, partly because GMT functionality lends itself quite naturally on this outdoor adventure type of watch, and second, the new release put pressure on the price of this non-GMT version, so it can be found now with some very decent discounts. So if you are not too concerned about GMT functionality, this could be a great opportunity to get one of these. Okay, and now the 3 watches that didn't do that well in my personal view. Remember that little controversy that I mentioned at the start of this video? Well, I need to be careful with this next watch, because my video about it this year received the least views, which could be for 2 reasons. A possible dark forces of the interweb were trying to shadow ban it, or possibly a simpler explanation. Nobody cares about this watch anymore. I will leave a link to that video so you can decide for yourself. So yes, probably there were way better things I could spend my $250 that I paid for this plastic watch. And the fact that a $25 fake can be easily identified because it generally feels and looks better than the genuine article pretty much tells us everything we need to know. Surprisingly, there are apparently still fans who are queuing every so many weeks to pay $250 or is it around $300 for the same thing but with a different color secondhand. Hey, that's cool. Who am I to tell you what to do with your hard-earned cash? Now, after I came across a few videos about how this Casio is about to cannibalize Casio's own Square G-Shock, I decided to buy it and see it for myself. Well, to be perfectly honest, it is not a bad watch. However, despite looking very much like a G-Shock, it actually lacks a lot of G-Shock features. And taking into account that this watch costs about $20 or so less than the most affordable square G-Shock, I think you're probably better off spending that little extra and getting the real deal in the first place. Well, just a thought. Smilk or smile, and to be quite honest, it did put a smile on my face when I unpacked it. Okay, this is another digital watch on my list, but this time it is not even a G-Shock, but an $8 G-Shock wannabe. And not only it looked like some kind of oversized caricature of G-Shock, it was also DOA when I unpacked it, so I didn't do any reviews. Okay, I have since managed to get it showing something on the display after replacing the battery, so maybe I can still use it as a bedroom clock in the future. And here it is, next to my Casio Square. It is ever so slightly bigger, should I say, and should be perfectly suitable for wrists 9 inches and up in circumference. So, here you go. What watch or watches were your highlight or opposite of 2023? Do share with us in the comments. And for all the watches that I've mentioned in this video, do check my playlist over here. And of course, if you find this review helpful, do hit that like button and do not forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching, take care, and I will see you in the next video.